What if I told you the secret to getting rich isn't about landing a seven-figure salary? I know, that sounds totally backward. But what if that high-paying job was actually a financial trap? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one shocking paradox that separates the truly wealthy from, well, everyone else. And I promise you, once you see it, you'll never look at money the same way again.
Okay, so here it is. This is the big question that flips everything we think we know about money completely on its head. And this isn't some hypothetical. Get this. A famous study in The Millionaire Next Door found that a typical household paid a staggering 14.5 times more in income tax as a percentage of their total wealth than a billionaire. How is that even possible? And this isn't about some shady, illegal loophole. It's about a fundamental difference in financial strategy that we are about to unpack.
Just look at this gap. It's absolutely insane. The typical household pays out almost 12% of their entire net worth in income tax in a single year. Let that sink in. The super affluent? Less than 1%. Now, here's the twist. The reason for this is shockingly simple. The wealthy are masters at minimizing their realized income. See, they don't chase a huge paycheck. They grow their wealth in ways that just aren't taxed year after year. This one chart explains why so many people feel like they're stuck on a financial treadmill, while others are building dynasties.
All right, so how on earth do they pull this off? It really all comes down to two completely different paths you can take with your money. And just understanding which path you're on right now, that's the very first step to changing your entire financial future.
Robert Kiyosaki absolutely nailed this in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You've got the poor dad mindset, which is what most of us are taught, right? Go to school, get good grades, find a secure, high-paying job. The main goal is to maximize your salary. But the rich dad mindset, it's a total 180. The goal isn't a bigger paycheck, it's acquiring assets. It's a fundamental shift from working for your money to having your money work for you. Which one of those sounds better? And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the single most important rule in personal finance. Seriously. If you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, please make it this. The key to building wealth is knowing the difference between an asset and a liability, and then spending your life buying assets. It sounds so simple, but this is where almost everyone gets it wrong. Forget all the complicated, jargon-filled textbook definitions. It's way simpler. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. That's it. That's the whole definition. Think about a rental property that's just dropping cash into your bank account every single month, or stocks that pay you dividends just for owning them. An asset is like a little machine that just produces income for you. And a liability? You guessed it, it's the exact opposite. It's something that takes money out of your pocket. And this right here is where things get super tricky for most people. We're often told that our house or our car are our biggest assets. But think about it. If you're paying a mortgage, insurance, taxes, and maintenance every single month, is that house really putting money in your pocket, or is it taking money out?
And this slide right here, this is the big aha moment. This is where it all clicks. Look over here on the left. That's the cash flow pattern for most people. Income comes in from a job, and poof, it immediately goes right back out to pay for expenses and liabilities like mortgages and car loans. It's a one-way street to being broke. Now look at the right. For the wealthy, it's a totally different story. Their assets generate their income. That income pays their expenses, and whatever's left over is used to buy, you guessed it, more assets. This creates this powerful, self-sustaining cycle, a wealth-building engine that just never stops.
So you see, this isn't just about crunching numbers on a spreadsheet. It's a deep-seated psychological shift. It's about adopting a mindset that puts long-term freedom way ahead of short-term social status.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It is the fundamental shift from being an employee of your money to being the master of it. So ask yourself, are you just trading your time for a paycheck? Or are you building an army of assets that works for you 24/7, even while you're sleeping? All right, now this is where we get to bust some major myths, because the book The Millionaire Next Door revealed some truly shocking habits of actual self-made millionaires. And they are not the people you see on reality TV. They prioritize financial independence way over having a flashy lifestyle. Get this, half of the millionaires they studied had never spent more than $400 on a suit. Most have never spent more than 29 grand on a car. They are disciplined planners who live well below their means because their focus is on their balance sheet, not their Instagram feed. Okay, I get it. This all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually start building that asset column? Let's get down to brass tacks and turn all this theory into real action. So here's your new mission if you choose to accept it. Your goal is not just to chase a bigger salary for the sake of it.
The real goal is to take the active earned income from your job and systematically convert it into passive income and portfolio income. You use your day job as the fuel, the launchpad, to build this incredible asset-building machine.
You know, the funny thing is, the first steps are ancient, timeless, and surprisingly simple. First, as the richest man in Babylon taught us, you have to pay yourself first. A part of everything you earn is yours to keep. Before any bills get paid, a portion of your income goes straight to building that asset column. Second, you have to master the difference between an asset and a liability. Third, focus all your energy on buying things that generate income. And finally, be ruthless about cutting the liabilities that are just draining your cash away.
And this brings us right back to where we started. Now that we have this framework, we can finally solve that big paradox from the beginning and redefine what it really truly means to be wealthy.
And here it is, the answer to our opening question. The reason the wealthy pay so much less in tax is because most of their wealth is tied up in assets that are appreciating in value. Things like a stock portfolio or a business. And here's the secret sauce. That growth, that appreciation, isn't taxed until they sell. So their wealth just compounds year after year, largely untouched by the taxman. They live off the cash flow from their assets, which keeps their taxable income incredibly low compared to their massive net worth. It's a strategy of wealth appreciation, not high realized income.
There's this piece of ancient wisdom that just wraps this all up perfectly. True wealth isn't about a static pile of money sitting in your bank account. No, it's a dynamic, golden stream of income that's constantly flowing from the assets that you've built. It's about creating a system that pays you, whether you're working or not.
At the end of the day, this isn't really just about piling up money for its own sake. Building wealth, in its truest sense, is about buying back your time. It's about having the freedom and the options to design the life you actually want to live, whatever that looks like for you. So the real question isn't just, how do I get rich? The real question I want to leave you with is, what does your rich life truly look like?